Oh, not the two of you again.
Afraid so, Mr. Foley. Another one of your clients was murdered last night.
Who?
Andy Winters. And we found the loan papers you drew up for him torn up.
Well, naturally, he paid off his loan.
And where'd he get the money to pay you back?
Well, he told me he'd come into some diamonds. He asked me to come over to his boat to collect them.
Aren't diamonds an awfully inconvenient form of loan repayment?
My hunch was they were worth way more than the loan was, maybe twice as much. Anyway, with terms that favorable, I figured it'd be worth the extra effort.
Where'd he get these diamonds?
I didn't want to know, but I can tell you this. Andy was very much alive when we finished our transaction.
Mick didn't see Billy on Andy's boat, but those toothpicks mean he was there. Maybe after Mick had left.
Yeah, and the boat hook that was used as the murder weapon was Peter's. Who else would have access to it besides his nephew?
I don't know, but I hope Billy has a logical explanation for all of this.
I didn't kill Andy. I've been nowhere near the My Turn.
Billy, I'm sorry to say that it's getting very difficult to believe you are innocent in all of this.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take a look around, Billy.
Go ahead. I have nothing to hide.
This means I'm gonna have to get those diamonds from Mick that Andy gave him to repay his loan.
And I don't think he's going to be very happy about it.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Foley.
I wish I could say the feeling was mutual.
I'm gonna have to ask you to turn those diamonds Andy gave you over to me.
Why?
Because it's evidence in a murder investigation, that's why.
Well, what if I told you I don't have them? What if I've already passed them on to a gemstone dealer?
What if I told you you could be arrested as an accessory to murder?
Whoa, slow down. Let me gather them up here.
Takes my time. Man's finger on the bars there, so the hamburgers fall with it. Man's finger on the takes my time. Man's finger on the bars there, so the hamburgers fall with it.
The public library has some strong magnifying glasses on hand for reading very fine print. We should be able to use one to look for identifying marks on these diamonds.
Then let's get going.
Where do you suppose they would keep the magnifying glasses around here?
This place looks like it's been hit by a hurricane.
Well, it's just nice to see that our local...
It's certainly not going to make our job any easier. Well, this printout confirms that all the diamonds came from the same place, a jewelry heist 20 years ago.
I remember when that happened. Weren't there 2 men involved?
Yeah, one was caught, but the other got away, and the diamonds were never recovered. The guy who was caught was named Brian Young, and according to this, he recently died in prison from a heart attack.
Brian Young. Do they list any surviving relatives?
Yep, one brother, Gregory.
What are the chances that Gregory is the same Greg who works at the Marine Research Lab?
I'd say they're pretty darn good. Actually, now that these diamonds have surfaced, they're better than good. Let's head over there. Nobody's here.
Perhaps Greg stepped out.
Let's see if we can find anything to link Greg to the diamonds.
What are you doing here?
These yours, Mr. Young?
You're not going anywhere.
You are the brother of Brian Young, the diamond thief, aren't you? But more than that, you're also his uncaught accomplice in the theft.
Yeah, I was. I drove the getaway car. But Brian was the one carrying the loot, and he hid the diamonds without telling me where he put them. Then he got arrested.
How did you manage to find them?
Well, Brian was practical enough to know that if anything happened to him while he was locked up, one of us should enjoy the benefit of them. So he left coded instructions in his will as to where I could find them.
So why this elaborate setup with the hollowed-out buoys and transmitters?
Well, I couldn't just spend the things on the street. I found a smuggling organization in Canada, willing to move the diamonds overseas and deposit the money in a Swiss bank account. Hiding small groups of diamonds in lobster buoys that could be picked up by them was the safest way to make the drops.
Is that where Peter Hammond came in?
Yeah, He answered my ad looking for someone to help collect data for the lobster study. While I fitted his buoys with the tracking transmitters, I also hollowed out a space inside to hold the diamonds.
And Peter, did he have any idea that you were using him?
Not a clue. At least, not until he came to the lab that night and caught me stuffing one of his hollowed-out buoys with diamonds.
How did Billy fit into all of this?
Before Peter could ask what I was doing, he heard Billy calling his name. I guess he'd followed him so he could ask for a raise. Anyway, I hid when I heard Billy coming.
So you saw Billy and Peter argue and fight then?
I saw the whole thing. Billy knocked Peter flat. And once Billy was gone, I took advantage of the opportunity to get rid of a serious liability.
In other words, you broke a cylinder and stabbed Peter in the back with it, killing him before he could regain consciousness. And then you moved his body back to the Cornelia using your cart.
I knew Billy would be the prime suspect, but things got complicated when Andy hauled one of Peter's traps and accidentally found a shipment of diamonds inside the float.
Apparently, Andy was helping Jim Price stock Peter's traps with lobsters to make it look like he was catching more than he actually was.
Not a bad scheme. Anyway, since the diamonds were in one of the buoys with my transmitter, Andy figured out that the diamonds came from me. He blackmailed me into letting him take Peter's place here and get the diamonds for himself.
He used them to pay off a loan.
Well, maybe they helped him financially, but I couldn't afford to have a blackmailer as a partner.
So you killed him with the boat hook from the Cornelia and spread some toothpicks around in hopes of redirecting suspicion at Billy Hammond. Unfortunately for you, you were the only logical killer.
Greg, you're looking at a very long prison sentence. You might be able to get a shot at a slightly more comfortable cell if you help us go after your Canadian contacts. You sure you want to do this, Billy? It could be dangerous.
My uncle died for this. Let's chart our course.
this is the place.
Okay, get that buoy ready to drop overboard. Keep your hands where we can see them. You are under arrest for the illegal trafficking of stolen property.
You did a good job, Billy. Your uncle would have been proud.